Hello, how are you, everybody? How is everybody doing? Can you hear us? Let me pull up chat here real quick. Stu Rep, bro, how is it going? You are like the
What's
first
up,
one on there.
Hallie?
We already lost someone, Frank. We already lost one. So we topped
That's
out
our
at 5. Yeah, we peaked out at 5.
5 is the only last percentage we could go from here from watching. So yeah.
Man, there you go. That makes more sense. I don't like it. How's it going, everybody? Welcome to Wolfbite show, podcast, YouTube thing, and so on. Yeah, welcome. How is everybody doing? Whatever. Whatever. All right. That is the quote for the day is whatever. All right. So yeah, here we are for another show. Hopefully this goes well, because apparently my internet is not holding very well. So we shall see. Hopefully you guys can see and hear us, because we went from 100 BPM whatever beats per minute to 24. Yeah, pretty much.
What?
Yeah. We've downgraded on the internet around here. Alrighty. So yeah, you wanna jump into some buffets and all that kind of thing? Or
Sure, why not?
sure. Okay. So here, bumper.
Unicorn. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
we have bumpers now.
Yeah. You've been doing this with Tuna for too long, man. I need to send him the bumpers. It's just such a huge file. It's gonna take forever. I could probably send him a micro USB with it, or a USB drive with the bumpers, and that would be quicker than me trying to send it to him through Google Drive.
Yeah. Because usually, I was like, okay, we have bumpers. I didn't know that we had bumpers. Hi, Jacoby, by the way. So, this one, Unicorn with the Unicorn RDA, basically the Unicorn setup.
Mega
And then I
patina
also
right there.
have, since it's Warlock Mega Patina, I haven't used it for a while. And then the Warlock Hammer with a TM24 Pro, because, Warlock's man daily combo. And lastly, the Vintage Dreamer.
There you go.
So for the juices, I have 12 Monkeys, Manga Bees, 12 Monkeys, Harambe.
We have sneezes.
Lick It, bless you, by the way. And lastly, Loop Shake from U-Turn.
Loop Shake. All right, so since you said it, I'm gonna have to do it. But yeah, I got me the Warlock's Guardian, the DNA 250C guy right there, and on top of that, I got the Recoil Rebel, because this is like my all-time favorite RDA. And in that, I got some of that transistor Karango. Yeah.
Karango.
Then next, we're gonna go with the Billet Box guy right there.
Billet Box.
I'm really digging it. It's got that what is that thing called, the vape shell RBA section, and it's really nice. I'm really digging it. In that, I got some Velez. I know it's a 3 milligrams, so it doesn't really seem like it would make sense, but you got a 0.5 coil in there. It's perfectly fine, honestly. And I'm doing this because I used to make fun of you for having one, but yeah, the Vicious Ant Spade with the Haku Phenom on top.
Nice,
dude. I'm digging. And in that, I got from Rescued some Benthol. Seriously, they are an amazing sponsor. Go check them out. They're not sponsoring this show, but they are sponsoring Vape with the Ohmies. I probably need to talk to them about maybe this show. We'll see. But
we'll see.
I think I got an in with Rescued, so I could probably talk to them about it. We'll see. I don't know. What do you guys think in chat? Should we talk to Rescued about sponsoring this show as well? All right.
Yes, please.
Yes. And yeah. That is me for the time being. I got a lot more going on my table, but that's all I'm gonna announce here on this show. Alrighty. So, let's jump into some news and advocacy times.
Dun, 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 dun.
All right, so news and advocacy, Mr. Frank Wolf, you got some articles you wanted to talk about?
Dude, like, okay. It's like, it's been a quiet season for a while, right? For Canada.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then I don't know what's going on, but like, actually, they're doing a lot of articles recently. If vaping liquids in Canada have potentially harmful chemicals in them. And they say tests show tests. So that being said, I don't know how to pronounce this one, but like Pulgon and benzaldehyde or benzaldehyde
Mm-hmm.
could be dangerous to human health when vape at high levels. So this is a part of the story of CC News, which is it's like vape fail.
Yeah.
So they say e-cigarette liquids currently on the Canadian market contain potentially harmful chemicals, including suspected carcinogens banned in food in the USA. So they say CBC News independently tested several nicotine vaping products at the Western New York Center for Research and Flav on sorry, New York Center for Research on Flavored Tobacco Products in Buffalo, New York last month. Test results found two chemicals in particular, which is pulgon and benzaldehyde that could be dangerous to human health when vape at high levels. So they said we tested some flavors that show high toxicity. Said Miss Macy Macy Gonomix, a leading e-cigarette researcher and a professor of oncology at Roswell Park Comprehensive Cancer Center. We found chemicals that raise concern, particularly when it comes to inhalation. I don't know why it says Canada, but the research was made in US. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know. So, Pulgon is typically found in vaping, menthol products, and cigarettes. It's suspected to be a carcinogen that was banned by US FDA as a food additive in 2018. And the tobacco industry has phased out Pulgon in cigarettes because of concerns over potential toxicity to smokers. And then you say benzaldehyde, what does it do? It's found in mostly cherry flavored e cigarette liquids and has been shown to be a toxic respiratory irritant at high doses. So there's one thing that's that. And then the other news that we're going to talk about, by the way, is more than a dozen of school districts sue Juul and other vape companies. So they say that in more than a dozen of school districts across the US have filed lawsuits against vape companies in the latest effort to hold the industry and its largest company, Juul, to account. School districts in states of Missouri, Kansas, Arizona, New York, and California have filed suits against Juul and other vaping companies, seeking to recoup financial losses incurred to attempting to manage the exploding number of students using e-cigarettes. And the lawsuit comes as some 27.5% of American high school students and 10.5.5% or 10.5% of middle school students say they use e-cigarettes in the past month, according to the recent study by the Journal of the American Medical Association. Dude, honestly, I'm just tired, man.
Oh, I
ID
know.
Voker, what's
Trust
up,
me.
buddy?
Trust me, dude. It's not a it's a shit show all around. Like Stu Rep was talking about, there's been a lot of conflicting things coming out of the Oval Office with President Trump, and
Mm-hmm.
I it's one of those things of like I don't like I understand that he has to protect himself and make sure that he has his job come next November, but it's like shit or get off the pot, dude. Take a side,
Mm-hmm.
but you know, it's one of those things of like he has on one side he has us putting on the pressure, and I really think that when they started doing all these bans and regulations and such thing, they didn't expect such a pushback. They thought that they were just gonna do it
Mm-hmm.
and get away with it, and that was gonna be the end of it. But we like we were talking about on the Ohmies that like we've been needing this push of advocacy for so long, and it never happened. And then the waking giant has come, and it has shown that it's not gonna fucking just sit there and take it. And you know, like it saddens me to see that in Canada. Bringing it back to your first article, and I got to watch like Dash Vapes. He talked about it. There was like a video that is attached with the link in here. I want to post it for you guys real quick. Um, Talking about vaping and the effects of it, and they keep going with the whole it affects the youth. It affects the youth, and yes, are there teens vaping? Yes, that's happening. Do we want it to happen? No. But, you know, even like on the Dash
Hell
Vapes
no.
video, he's all like, how do we like, yes, they're vaping. Do we condone it? No. But can we bring up the fact that they're not
Mm-hmm.
smoking? Like, none of them are getting into cigarettes. None of them are buying cigarettes. That's like kind of like a weird positive, you know, one evil for another kind of thing. Like, which would you rather have them do? And, you know, I really feel like if you were to take an overall consensus and based on the actual knowledge that is out there, because that's another one, they are failing to acknowledge the Royal College of Physicians paperwork, all of
Mm-hmm.
their, all of the things that they've come out with. And it's one of those things.
That's 30,000 doctors in the whole world
Mm-hmm.
that they're failing to acknowledge.
Yeah, they're just, and the thing is, like, the entire body of health in the UK has come out and said we are taking a hard stance on vaping, that everybody should switch to vaping. Everybody, if you know you're gonna start a bad habit, start vaping. You know, it's one of those things. If you don't smoke, don't pick up vaping.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, it's just one of those things that you probably don't need it in your life. But if you really want to make that conscious decision as an adult to pick up a habit, take vaping over smoking any day.
Yeah. And that's the thing, right? Like, and here's how I think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's always going to be a trade-off. No matter what you do,
Mm-hmm.
specifically in your life, you have a trade-off to like
Mm-hmm.
think about it.
Mm-hmm.
So think about it this way. You go outside your place, right? There's already like a trade-off
Mm-hmm.
where it's like you could have stayed at home, lying to your bed, or like at dinner at your place, or you could go outside, meet some other people, and
Mm-hmm.
then eat outside.
Yeah.
And you have already made that conscious decision rather to actually go outside and do something.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, think about it this way. Ever bring up the point where this youth who tried, as what we call and as what Greg Conley also addresses as e-joints, because smoking tobacco equals cigarettes.
Mm-hmm.
Vape or vaping nicotine products is vaping, and then THC smoking is called cannabis or whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you doing THC vaping is e-joints per se. So like people about this topic have like mixed like opinion about it, where it's like you can never exchange one evil for another evil. Think
Mm-hmm.
about it this way: the gravity of a youth vaping, and I mean I never wish to have like somebody in the youth that's actually like vaping, but like if there's like a lesser option, I would rather them vape, because Number one, it's less harmful. Number two, it actually helps people be aware that this is you know, less harmful than your combustible tobacco. Number
Mm-hmm.
three, if you're gonna pick up a vice, you'll rather go with the less harmful one because you know it's less harmful.
Yeah.
So, like that being said, like we don't take it. People always forget that point where, okay, my kid's vaping. Like, what should I do? Or like, probably like my school's not doing anything, or like my governor needs to like ban all this shit flavors because
And
you
see,
know.
and that point right there, I think is bullshit. Because why do you need the government to step in to help you parent? How about you
Mm-hmm.
actually be a parent? And we've been saying this for months now, for probably a year, is the fact that, you know, be a parent. Actually do something as a parent. Educate your children. Teach them what you want to instill in them. That is your job as a parent. It's not waiting
Mm-hmm.
around for some mayor, some governor, some president to tell you how to fucking raise your children. I'm sorry, but
Yep.
that's not how it works. That's never how it's worked. You bring these people into this world, it is your responsibility to raise them right, to raise them correctly, and to make sure that they're even remotely well adjusted human beings.
Yeah, and that being said, like whose responsibility is it in their household anyway?
Mm-hmm. It's
Like
like,
you try, you know, it's like a lot of people lose this point. And this one, I would never argue on how someone is brought up, right?
mm-hmm,
Like I would never argue on how you parent people.
mm-hmm,
And what's good, Lethal Coils, by the way. What's up, buddy? Um, I would never argue on how you bring up your kids because it's your kids. It's your
yep,
responsibility to parent them.
mm-hmm,
However, if let's say for example, you let, you know, we always say like, you know, people need good parents, things like that. But if the government wants them to parent the children, like it's way worse than actually firsthand combating responsibility
mm-hmm.
rather than putting yourself forward into that and passing the responsibility to the government. And hi, Buddy Blindy and Philly.
No, yeah. I mean, there are so many angles on this. Like, I just love how they fail to acknowledge all these points. I mean, even just the fact that this is harm reduction. I mean,
Yep.
even in the UK, they recently came out with new numbers and they're saying 97, which is even more insane to think about. And
Mm-hmm.
nothing in life is 100% safe.
Yep.
You can walk out your door and something hit you in the face. You don't know. You could get in
But
your
you walk to the
car.
sidewalk to actually help you reduce the harm.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's the
It
thing. Like, you could walk out your door, get in your car. You don't know if that day is the day you get in a car wreck. You know,
mm-hmm.
nothing is 100% safe. Even getting out of bed can be a fucking disaster. If you misstep, you could break something. It
Yeah.
happens. And you know, in it's one of those things that we say it's 95% safer. And I think like Nick Garrity said this like earlier this year or last year. I don't remember. I remember him telling me this or something. But he's like, what if instead of looking at it as 95% safer, look at it as only 5% of the risk?
Yeah.
You know?
And you you actually like put into yourself like these numbers, right? Think about like, yes, Philly, I agree with that. Like airbags in cars didn't stop all the road deaths, only
Mm-hmm.
some. And even like remember when they installed seatbelts,
Mm-hmm.
right? Whenever they installed seatbelts, first and foremost, a lot of people were actually having a lot of road deaths.
Yeah.
The only thing that they did was, okay, like in order for us to like maintain low death rates on the road, of course low death rates on the road, but
Mm-hmm.
like in order for us to have low death rates, we'll install seatbelts. What did it do? Yes, it did actually like
It
stop
was called
some.
harm reduction.
Yeah, you reduce the harm and essentially like reduce the harm. There's less road deaths. However, you have to keep in mind that there are actually it went from some speeding fines to a lot of speeding fines now because they already have seatbelts. So that being said, it's
It
always
does.
going to be a trade-off. What do you
Yeah.
want to do? Harm reduction or total elimination?
Mm-hmm. That's it's one of those things of. I do think it's funny that their solution is to create a bigger black market. The
Yep.
issue right now is that we have a black market that is emerging. I mean, the black market has always been there, but it is growing. And I mean, the 19 like I feel like a broken record. I even said this on a couple of videos I just recently recorded this week that I need to post at some point.
Yep.
And the 1920s, what happened with prohibition? Alcohol prohibition.
Mm-hmm.
They got rid of all alcohol, and all it did was create a black market and underground scene, and it created a evil element. It actually created, the mafia. It created so many things, and then within the 60s and the 70s and 80s, with the war on drugs that has been raging on ever since,
Mm-hmm.
what did that create? We have cartels. We have all these things coming from down south that they are willing to kill and massacre everybody in their path just for an
Mm-hmm.
extra buck. And you want to turn vaping into that, and even then it adds harm, it adds risk, because you don't know what they're really going to be putting at that point. There's no real regulation at that point. And
Uh,
I mean, with the whole THC pens, we've seen already what's happened with that. They don't give a fuck what they're doing with it. They just put something in there, and damn if you do, damn if you don't. If you get murdered, if you get killed from trying these black market products, it's on you at that point.
mm-hmm.
There's no safety net on that.
Because a lot of us, in a perfect world, okay, in a perfect world, you would like to have like everything safe.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dave Satek, what's up, buddy? You would, in a perfect world, you would want everything to be safe. But think about this: like, you can't install all perfect world settings into this, you know,
Mm-hmm.
fucked up world that we live in. It's like, think about also that. Okay, what do there's a lot of THC vaping, or like there's a lot of like vaping induced whatchamacallit issues or health issues as they
Mm-hmm.
say.
Mm-hmm.
But if you do a black market, right? Number one, who regulates the black market? Themselves. Who raises the prices? Themselves. So they could dictate the prices, and the consumers will still be down.
Mm-hmm.
Second of all, if you do that thing where it's like, okay, I'm gonna ban this. Okay, what's the next best thing what's the next worst thing rather that would happen? It's like, okay, you know, us as the FDA, like we don't control anything in the black market. Like, dude, you're just at that certain point evading the responsibility now.
Mm-hmm.
So again, no regulation. Third, think about the black market. If you ban something and you really care about your fucking taxes, where do you get those taxes from?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. If you're a government, there's no use of now of like, okay, I'm gonna increase the tax. Like, we're gonna earn from vaping and then keep their money into our bay. But like, where do you get the taxes from now from vaping? Nothing.
Yeah.
So as a politician, you're also fucked.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, okay, look at the whole legalization situation that's gone on. Colorado benefited heavily from that.
Mm-hmm.
They seriously, like, the goals that they set out to do, they got within like a year to 2 years. And like all that money, the revenue they're making off of it. And like, personally, I'm not for taxation, but at the same time, if it's taxation within reason, well, why the fuck not? I mean,
Yep.
that's the thing. Like, even taxation was already a thing within vaping, because they do charge you taxes whenever you buy from like a shop, or even online shops. They actually do tack on a tax one way or another, because
Yep.
the business itself has to pay up taxes to whatever governing body is over them to have a business. Because shit, I ran a site for a bit there, and I had to pay taxes on that. You know, it's one of those things that people don't realize, that you still do have to pay taxes as a business, and that's why you collect taxes from your sales.
Yeah, and aloha Kevin K. Aloha Kevin K. By the way, wait, Kevin K. And that's the thing, right? Like, it if you're really afraid of like vaping will like go boom, or like this vaping related illnesses,
Mm-hmm.
would you attack the root problem, or would you just attack like what you see?
Mm-hmm.
That's the biggest difference in like all these policies that that the government implements. It's just like we're looking into like the shallow forefront of this iceberg, but we don't go deep down on it.
Mm-hmm.
That there's be a bigger problem, which is like these are vaping related illness not produced by nicotine vaping, and there's other forces that actually try to like push it forward to wreck this industry.
Mm-hmm.
So, like,
Oh no, yeah, and I mean
hell yeah.
that's the thing. I mean, it's like let me see, where was it? Phil Lee says, actually, as people have personal risk threshold, many interventions have little effect, as users just act less safely when the intervention is brought in. And that's the thing. Just with like anything in life, you can become addicted. And you're willing to do just about anything for said addiction, whether
Mm-hmm.
it's to a grand scale or a minimal scale. It's one of those things that if it's something habitual that you want to do, whether it's, vaping, smoking, drinking, video games, even like in some extreme cases just watching porn, you're going to do whatever you can to get your fix, and you don't give a fuck what anybody tells you that you're doing wrong. As long as, it's one of those things that if you want to seek help, that's on you as a human being, as an individual. And if you don't, nobody can tell you otherwise. I mean, one of my dad's closest friends, one of his kids is like heavily addicted to cocaine, and he's
Mm-hmm.
tried putting him in rehab several times, and it just won't take, because the dude wants to stay addicted. He doesn't want the help. It's one of those things, you know.
What's up, Josh Rhodes?
What
So,
up, Cheech?
yeah, Cheech.
I don't know what that is, but sure.
What's up, Cheech? How can we help you? Like, yeah, even on bicycles, Philly does a good point on that. Bicycles, to dude, like when you have helmets on, right? Like, or like those gear pads on your
Mm-hmm.
elbows or whatnot. Actually, like people act less safely, but that's because they already have the harm reduction already induced to them. So like people actually think of their safety first, but their their safety nets sometimes is not satisfied. That being that the government wants this to be fucked. So okay, fuck your safety nets. We'll get them. We'll get them all. And I don't know, man.
No, I know,
I'm not
and
so worried.
and that's the thing. I mean, regulation isn't a bad thing, and the vape industry itself has actually tried to regulate. I mean, there are some out there that,
Some.
that just suck, and they all need to go to shit. I mean, like your second article, you were talking about Juul. Juul has been wildly irresponsible with so many different things, and I mean, I could list them off, but like the one to me, I feel that they really needed to actually jump on it initially was their nicotine level.
Mm-hmm.
50 milligram, whatever, that's a thing. But the point of vaping is to quit if you're looking to quit, and there is no step down. They needed to have a step down system, and I even said that a year ago on the Ohmies, that there
Mm-hmm.
needed to be a step down system with pod systems. 50 milligram, to me personally, I think is ridiculously high. There's no need for it. I do think like a 25 cap is fine. Even 20 is kind of whatever. Because I remember when I started vaping, I started at like 24.
Yep.
Oh no, yeah. Dave said tech, you were right. Juul is a freaking leash. They what is it? What the hell is their company? Not Altria, but the other one. What the fuck? Who's their manufacturer again? I don't even remember. They don't care. They're not in it for vaping. They're in it because they saw a cash cow and they went for it. That is the truth of it. Honestly, they saw something that they could benefit from, and to them, this is just a minimal thing within their company.
Yep.
Pax,
And
Pax
then
Labs. That's what. That's
packs.
what. Yeah.
So yeah.
So,
42.0 should be the limit, in my expert opinion.
because even like the idea of salt nicks is wildly misused. Salt
Yep.
nicks are meant to be more absorbent into your system. They are meant to be smoother. So, of course, if you want a throaty hit, you have to go higher. But
Yes.
in order to actually use Nick salts better, you'd have to use it at a more minimal level. Yeah, honestly, I think it would be like halving it from what traditional nicotine and e-liquid should be.
Yeah. I agree with Philly. We cope fine in EU with 20 milligram cap. Yep. Because honestly, like, I'll be honest with you, like, 20 milligrams is actually quite a lot. I use 20 milligrams in some of my pods. I'll be honest with you right now. But like, I could tell you that it's fine. It works well for me. I don't know if people need more.
No,
But
I
then
mean,
again,
okay, like, and here's the thing, like that kind of stuff, and like I know a lot of people think pod systems should go to shit and go away.
mhm,
To a point, I agree. To another one, I understand the idea of, say you have a job that you can't really take a long break, and you just need like a nice little nick fix. You just run outside, take a nice drag from your 20 milligram pod, and that can help you out. It's something small, discreet. You're not carrying a
yeah.
big lunky mod or anything like that.
Yeah, because even at my work, dude, like, we only have like 7 fucking minute breaks.
Mm-hmm.
And those 7 fucking minute breaks
and
are
that
not enough.
and that counts from when you get up from your desk, doesn't it?
No, it counts when you punch out.
Okay.
So like, for some of us, it's like 7 minutes is not enough. And just imagine like what else you could do for like a couple of minutes just because, like, you know. Yeah, yeah, there were a few stockers of anything above like 18.
Well,
Like,
like here in the U.S., it got to a point where the highest you could get was like a 6 milligram.
yeah,
Like
there was
honestly,
a point when
getting like
here in
nines
Canada
and
it's 12.
12s, yeah, 9s and 12s were kind of a thing of the past, just because everybody was getting like the big tanks and the sub-ohming and all that kind of shit. Because I
No,
mean,
and
people forget that there was an era where sub-ohm was like a pipe dream, and even then people didn't care to do it because there was the potential of you getting a short on your battery because you're running too low. I mean, anything. I remember like at one point they would tell you don't want to go below a zero point 0.5 because you could potentially harm yourself. You could make the battery go crazy and this and that, because we didn't understand thermal runaway yet. We didn't understand a lot of things. So like a zero point 0.5, you were like an extreme dude if you were vaping at a 0.5 ohm system. You were like an extreme person at that point. And these are like things that are taken for granted in today's like market, is that idea that like, a 1 ohm thing was something that just was standard all over the place. Like mouth to lung was standard for me. That's where like quitting smoking and going into vaping was a really rough thing, because I don't mouth to lung. I've barely like gotten to understand mouth to lung within the last year, because I used to direct lung cigarettes. I could seriously
hell yeah.
I could demolish a cigarette in like 3 or 4 puffs. Like I was not very gentle when it came to my lungs when it came to smoking.
Dude, I have some friends too that smokes right now, and they could finish like their cigarettes in like 3-4 minutes. That's just because, like, not because like they hit it faster, but because like they puff it like a direct lung. So like a Mac mod kind of things, like, you know.
I know, yeah,
But
and I
then
mean,
again,
and that's the thing. I mean, like I've said millions of times again, I was a 2 pack a day smoker, moving on to that third pack, and when you tell people that, they're like, when the hell did you have that much time to smoke? I was like, I just went crazy. Especially if it was like a night I went to a concert, that third pack was a real thing. I
yep.
would wake up thinking, oh shit, I have no cigarettes. I don't know what to do. I'm gonna have to go to the store.
Yes. So that being said, we'll go to the tangent time.
You want to do
Because
a
I mean,
tangent time?
yeah, we'll
All
do a
right.
tangent time. Because I mean, we have a main topic, but it's a tangent main topic, so whatever.
Awesome. You talked through a whole bumper. I love that.
Da, da, da. So, like, just a brief announcement to all the viewers and listeners out there. Like,
If you
as
haven't heard the news,
if you haven't heard the news, by the way, so this is going to be our last day for streaming. No, I'm kidding. No, this is our last day of the show being put into Vape Radio, because for people who don't know, starting December 11th, Vape Radio would be closing down and we'll be signing off on air. And it's sad to see them go. It's sad for us not to be any more affiliate with the show. It's sad that we don't get to, like, not hang around, but like talk to Pablo or Rodman about some of our stuff,
mm-hmm.
specifically like Vape Radio related stuff. But unfortunately, Vape Radio is signing off in December 11th. Now, I just want to take this time and opportunity to like say thank you for everything that Vape Radio has done for us. Everything, including all the hosts like Rodman, Pablo, Nick Garrity, Angela Garrity, for everything that
Get
she's
down
done
with the
there.
thickness. That was like the best thing ever.
Yeah, get down with the thickness, and
Mm.
then Keith Moth, CK, like a lot of us spend a lot of time doing shows for Vape Radio, and this time of the year that I'm actually like quite. I feel okay when I heard the news. Okay, I'll be honest with you. Like, I was sad.
Oh yeah.
Immediately, I was down.
I was
Not
like,
because like,
holy shit, for real.
yeah, I mean, for the longest time, like, we treated Vape Radio as one of our own,
Oh yeah.
like
I
one
mean,
of
they
our
they
family.
like I know we had like the podcast going at the time when they picked us up and stuff, but they kind of gave us a place, you know. It was
Yeah,
one of those
they
things like we still have like the podcast on SoundCloud, and now we do the lives here on this channel or on Chris Evans Storm's channel, depending if I'm available that week. But
yeah
they actually gave us a home. They gave us a launching point because I mean, shit. I got to go to like vape events and they helped me get in, and I would actually help out with setups and things like that. And I got to meet people through Vape Radio, and that was like one of those cool things, you know, like even like Nick Garrity, you know, we kind of became really close friends over that. It helped that we vaped and we kind of lived close to each other, but like the Vape Radio thing, kind of like we would hang out together at the booth, and then he'd be like, hey, let's go meet this person, let's go meet that person. And I got to actually make some connections with people and actually kind of make friends with people, which was like the more insane part, because they're not just like business people, they're just actually people that I could be like, hey, what's up, and just like message them over dumb shit,
yeah,
you know.
and not even that, but like the best thing about not just being part of this family, not just hosting us, but like they were the first ones who believe in the hidden gem that we had. Basically, like, okay, we're gonna take a chance on you, and usually, like, we felt like, okay, like this is another stepping stone. Like, how would we deal with this? Like, is there anything that's gonna change, or like, is there anything that we should do? Because it's vape radio. It's like everyone, I think, per se, when they were kids, wanted to like be part of a radio station or work for a radio station. Like, that being said, like, it was a dream of mine to like be affiliated and work kind of in a radio station because of the audio engineering background. But
Mm-hmm.
other than that, dude, like, this was the part that strikes me the most is they believe in us more than we believe in ourselves. It's
No,
like
yeah, I really think
they took a chance, man.
I know I don't know if anybody out there knows, but we actually both have audio engineering backgrounds. We both have gone to school for it, and we've worked with bands and done all that kind of jazz. But like radio stuff was actually something that we wanted to do. I mean, I actually have tried applying for local radio stations to work at them, but they're stocked up on employees. So trying to get hired is not the easiest of things in this industry. It's very, if somebody has a spot, they will keep that until the day they retire, and
Yep.
they don't retire early.
No, and that, like, that being said, it's like you see, like, yes, I agree. Like Dave Satek, radio talk is a dying breed. They should do vape TV on YouTube live broadcast. Like, I highly agree with that. Like, not that I not that I would rebrand it, but like hopefully there's something better that's coming. I mean, I know that for some people know about it, that when a door closes, a window opens for some reason. But that's the thing, right? Like, us as a talk show, not just like being molded, but with how we affiliated with Vape Radio, but we brought in our personalities, we brought in our time, we spend a lot of effort like doing shows. So like it, there's a lot of things that
Oh yeah. What is it like? Even then, like, uh, going to the shows and stuff. I'm not Clown. I'm not Jay. I'm fucking Wolfbite. Like anytime I've seen them, like we went to Oklahoma, we went to Connecticut. They're like Wolfbite. I'm like, yeah,
Where's that?
because we were the show. I mean, I got to meet them in San Antonio last year, and that was fun. Shit,
It's a thing.
I still remember walking up to Pablo. Like Stan actually introduced me, and walking up to Pablo and he's all like, "Yeah, this is so and so." I'm like, "All right, hey man." And then later I was like, "You know what? I'm gonna ask this guy if he'll take the show." And like I walked to him, I was like, "You'd be interested in picking up a advocacy and just randomness show?" He's like, "Well, what exactly is it?" I was like, "Okay, so like my partner's Canadian. I live here in the States, so we talk back and forth Canadian and US, vaping policies and stuff like that. And then and then we just kind of throw in random shit in there here and there." He's like, "Send me a sample and I'll see what I think, and I'll let you guys know." And like 5 minutes after sending him just one episode, he was like so down.
I like it. You're in. It's like, like that's the big baller announcement when we had like our highs of highs and sometimes even our lows of lows, when we get to like not just talk about randomness, but they let us keep what we have. And the wolf bite that we have is actually like,
Yes, Frank has been bitten by a wolf.
yes. Okay, for some reason, basically Wolfbite started with just the last name Wolf, but like I honestly, like, I don't know what to call the show, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So like I researched like bunch of stuff, like bunch of logos, and I'm like never heard of them shows kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I'm like, like Wolf Podcast would be great, and then like Down with the Wolf would be great, or Howling with the Wolf, whatever. But like Wolfbite was like what strike us the most. So that's like one of the biggest highs. It's like, okay, there's that. There's down.
Oh yeah, I
So
remember when you were trying to find a name for the show, because this is when you were still like thinking of doing it solo,
yeah.
because you were gonna like interview a different person every week and stuff, and then you're like,
Kind of
should
what PoonSauce imitated me.
Oh, dude, that
Before PoonSauce, there was me first.
right?
Nah, I'm
Dude.
kidding.
And they are on later today. If you guys want to go check out, what is it?
What's in the
What's
news?
in his PoonSauce? Yeah, I was like, are they called PoonSauce and the Angry Hippie? But yeah, if you guys want to go check that out later today, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Yeah, and like that being said, like enough of trash talk that we have, because I always trash talk everyone. Like, best trash talker NA.
They're our friends and they understand that we're just messing around.
Yeah, the thing that I like the most working is like you submit a file every week, right? And I'll miss that kind of like Wednesday grind time when it's actually like due Wednesday, but like I pass it either Thursday morning or like Friday. So there's one time that I pass it Friday morning, and then
Mm-hmm.
they never mind. So like it's the huge acceptance of it where it's like, yeah, whatever, we'll take it. But other than that, man, like the family of this people who come along a long way,
Mm-hmm.
dude, like I appreciate like not just the effort but like the support of the community, not just like being played to an internet radio, but also being played to like even conventions like
Mm-hmm.
NVE. We got played in NVE, we got to be played in Vapor Dynasty, like a lot of those things. It's like not like those grand opportunities that we have is such an amazing time, man.
Yeah, Vapor's
So
Carnival.
like
I was
the
there at
management.
Vapor's Carnival. I was standing there, and Nick looks at me. He's like, "Dude, why are you yelling?" I was like, "That's not me. That's the radio because they had it so damn loud."
Yeah.
But it's one of those weird things of hearing your own voice, and you're like, "God, I sound like an idiot."
Yeah. And for for usual reasons, like I mean, dude, then again, like you as an audio engineer who had like a background with audio, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, I thought it was a furry luggage. But like the thing about having a show on the internet radio that I would miss the most is how much like we get to not just explore, but how much fun it could have. Like, oh yeah, that's me, like that's my voice right there.
Mm-hmm.
And even if we always claim that we don't have a voice for the radio, we always claim that we have the face for it but not the voice for it. So like a lot of these things that happens is like, everything comes to an end.
Mm-hmm.
It's inevitable, but like Vape Radio, you'll be missed. And again, like I can't show enough, or I can't say enough thank yous and appreciate it, or like, salute to everyone who's been in the background.
Mm-hmm.
Baba, you know, even
Dude, Bubba
even
was
Scott
awesome.
Zegans, you know.
Oh yeah, Scott Zegans was a fun guy to meet in person. I got to meet him at NVE, and
Yeah.
he's like, "You're Wolfbite." I'm like, "Yes, I'm Wolfbite."
Yeah.
And like, I mean, we got to talk about his Z Liquid, and then we got to talk about doing the shows and all that kind of thing. So I mean, it was a blast. It will be missed. It really will be missed.
We'll miss it. Like not just that, but like, interacting with like such different personalities.
Mm-hmm.
So imagine like, let's say for example, having a person like that personalities of like Kate, who's like into like a lot of music, and CK, who's also a lot into music, and then also interacting with, let's say for example, Scully, who's into like a lot of Red Wing stuff. So
Oh yeah,
like
dude, he is so into hockey. That was like the coolest thing was hanging out with him because we just got to talk hockey the whole time. And
yeah.
since he's a Red Wings fan, I'm a Red Wings fan. If you guys go to the Vaping with the Ohmies show on last Monday, I wore a Red Wings jersey through the whole thing. And it's one of those cool things of like you get to find what your interests are besides vaping, and it just kind of adds to the spice and flavor of who you are as a person interacting with other people.
Yeah. And dude, like there's a lot of the time when so for people who don't know, I take the transit, man. Transit is
Mm-hmm.
good. Transit is life. No, I'm kidding. But like I wish to have a car one day, but like the thing about me going into like work and stuff like that, the the thing that's basically like not just dragging me to work or like making me work and have anxiety about work is like being able to actually listen to Vape Radio, especially like Rodman and Pablo. Like, dude, like specifically not just like the news and advocacy side, but the fun stuff. Cause you get a lot of the news and advocacy from Vape Radio, but you also get like a lot of fun listening to it. So like requesting like your song or
Mm-hmm.
like requesting someone's song, you know. So, you know.
Oh no, yeah, and I mean that was like the cool thing about it was that um they didn't just play one genre of music. You could be listening to like Korn 1 minute, Tupac the next,
Yep.
and then like it would jump to like Boys to Men or some shit. I don't know. And it was just like the weirdest thing. It was cool. It was very
Yep.
interesting the endeavor they took and how they had the DJs set up and everything. It was very interesting. And then all the like talk shows and all that kind of thing.
Hi Lopez, but by the way. So, yeah, like that being said, we'll get right to our sign offs. So, take it away, clown.
Let me see. So yeah, don't check us out on Vape Radio.
We're not on there anymore.
As of December 11th, it is over. So yeah, take in whatever you guys can. If you haven't checked it out, go check out whatever last bit you can. There is an app that you can get if you have Android. They do not do one for Apple, unfortunately, since Apple is weird about vaping stuff. But yeah, go check it out. This episode should air on that last day. So if you guys are listening to it currently there, thank you and all that. Go check out Vaping with the Ohmies, Mondays at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. And then, yeah, I got videos and stuff. Tomorrow, I should be able to do a vlog at the same time if you guys want to come hang out with me and talk some bullshit and all that kind of thing. Drink some beer, because, beer. And, what else? Yeah, if you guys are interested in coils and juice, even though the site is pretty much dead and gone at this point, if you guys are still interested in getting some coils and juice from me, hit me up on Instagram or email me at clownvapes@gmail.com. And yeah, I think that's about it. And stay tuned for any videos I'm able to post here and there.
Yeah, so yeah, Frank Wolfbite on Instagram, as well as Scown or KVTV on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, basically, there's that.
I like how the resume dies because of the Vape Radio
like,
stuff.
And yeah, basically, we're on here every Wednesday. That's going to be at 3 p.m. Central all the time, either here or on Chris Evans Storm or Chris Storm, aka Tuna channel. Depends, but we'll always make it a point to announce where we would be. And yeah, that being said, like stay positive, take care out there, and yeah, vape on, legends. Love you, Vape Radio. Thanks for everything.
All right, so yeah, catch you guys later. Thank you for everything, and yeah, have a good day. What is it? Drive home safe.
Yeah.
Vape on.